Oh my God.
Bunch of third round.
Hi. Gimbal problems. Gimbal problems at the range, no bueno. What's going on, everybody? This is Andrew, and I'm here to bring you another episode of Pew Brothers. In this episode, we're comparing the G44 by Glock to the Taurus TX22. Stay tuned. Alright guys, Doc and I usually try to put out some feelers before we do our videos, just kind of see what you guys are looking for, maybe to find out what parts of a review that you want that you haven't seen in other YouTubers' reviews. Well, we did that and we got back, well, this is what happened. I put up a post, G44 versus TX22, and my phone started going off. Looked up first, viewer said, hey, the great debate is between the Q-Tech P17 and the Taurus. The G44 is probably the worst gun produced by anyone in a decade. Pretty hard words. Set my phone back down, and what do you know? I'm a Glock guy, and I'll even say the Taurus is better. A Glock had a real chance, and they flopped. From a Glock guy? Say what? Set my phone back down. You guessed it. I've got two Glocks, my service, which is a 22, and my carry, a 17C, and I tested both the Taurus and the 44 side by side at a range, and I like the capacity and the feeling of the Taurus better and runs more different types of ammo. Aside from some grammatical errors here, which I'm guilty of myself, I would say that it's kind of clear what direction this is headed in, but I do have props to give to Glock. No spoiler alert. Alright, we'll go ahead and start with Glock first. Now, I want to talk about the positives first with Glock. I know that when I put this out on social media initially, that we had a lot of, hate for the Glock and how they messed up and all these different ways. I do want to talk about the positive things. The G44, I feel, can fill a very, very serious void as a trainer. We have a lot of air pistol trainers that mimic Glock 19s, Glock 17s, whatever the case may be. In every shape and form, this G44 is a G19 with the exception of the caliber. Barrel length, slide, serration, stippling, the works. They're the same gun. Obviously, the weight's going to be a little bit different for the internals, but I can say that Glock did get it right with being able to provide their clientele with a cost-efficient round to be able to fire their and be able to practice with. So here's the Glock for that. They were also able to put, very fine details in there, like their safe action trigger. I'm not a Glock fan. I'm not a fan of the Glock trigger, but I do feel like they were able to incorporate that as, and kind of transpose it from their other firearms. I felt like it was very similar to other Glocks that I'd fired with regards to the trigger, so they got that right. That familiarity is there for their clientele that's looking for, hey, this is what my trigger feels like on my 17 or my 21, my 22, my 26, whatever the case may be. The other thing that I'll say about Glock is it is picky with ammo. Now we're going over to the con side. I was running pretty much everything through my TX22. I found that Glock was very specific with what you were able to run through it, and it did not mind letting you know in great redundancy that it was not happy with what you were feeding it.
Gotta make it look good for the tube.
Overall, the range day experience, I don't want to talk bad about Jamie's gun, but it had a couple failure to feed issues, which I think it may be ammo in all seriousness, maybe a little bit more sensitive to what it can run opposed to the TX22. I know a lot of people have there's some grievances out there towards Taurus for performance in the past. I'm not getting into that, but I do think that the TX22 they got right. And I have a lot to say about the G44 as well. Here we go. We're running CCI 40 grain on this. Failure to eject. Does have less recoil. Guys, I thought I was done recording. But, so we're out here at Jamie's place. I was like, hey man, I've run out of some ammo. You guys see this? Western Supermatch rimfire cartridges, Mark III, 500 rounds. Can anybody tell me how old this is? Jamie's only like 75, so what can I say? I think this is a phenomenal handgun. I know Taurus has a bad rap. If at any time Taurus has ever gotten it right, it's now. I'm not going to say what they're going to do next year. I'm not going to say what their guns are performing like now. I have been more than satisfied with my TX22. It does not have the cult following that the Glock has, but it is a blast to shoot, and I do think that even though I don't have a gun that replicates its same footprint, I still find value in it as a trainer. Do I find as much value in it as I did the G44 comparing it to someone that EDC's Glocks? No, but I'm still able to transition some of those fundamentals from my time at the range with the TX22 to my everyday carry. So, overall impressions of the TX22. You see I've, shot the firearm. I like it. It feels good in the hand. The things that I don't like about it are the port here. I'd prefer for it to be cut where you could receive extractions from the top, but the port works well. Moreover, from that, one of the features that it has that the Glock doesn't have is the threaded barrel up here in the front. Now, I most definitely like the option to add a can to that if desired, but to each his own. So this set does have a aftermarket set of sights in there, but advancing the slide forward, we have a very nice trigger here, and I feel that it fits good in the hand. It does feature a manual safety. The thing that I do not like, I poke Glock in the eye, I'm going to poke Taurus in the eye. I absolutely hate the magazine design. The button that goes to the slide that brings on the magazine follower with the retention spring on it absolutely sucks. It's a small little pip that skates along the inside of this internal rail. The best way that I found to load this is like cramming my fingernail to the side. It is not meant to push down. You'll see here in the video that I load Glock magazines significantly better. Now, provided I guess maybe it's the change or the exchanges you make. Glock has fairly well designed mags at 10 rounds. Taurus, not so much at 16. And maybe it's just me being finicky. All right, I had to make my decision. I had to decide what the best 22 of 2020 was. Wasn't easy, but without further ado, I present to you the Thunderstruck S333. What a time to be alive, folks. In all seriousness, I don't think there's a clear winner, because I think both of these firearms serve different roles, whether it to be a trainer operating on a familiar platform or something with higher capacity that's fun to go out to the range to plink. You make the decision, it's all on you. What I will say is find out which one of these firearms suits your needs and go for it. Worst case, buy both. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Money Quick Pawn and Gun for providing the firearms for this video. Guys, huge shout out to TACX Pro Gear for providing these awesome targets. We were able to do this TX22 versus G44 video today, get a lot of great shots in. Unfortunately, you guys won't be able to see all of it. We went through some ammo. In fact, I'm out and Ethan's out, and I've bummed some from Jamie, which I may or may not be able to give back to him. Not too bad. Guys, thank you for watching today's video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And as always, plink responsibly.